Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Gaura Pimanandi, Dayam Vishupad Paramahamsa, Pri Radhakacharya Stotra Satta, Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Shilabhai Charan Naravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Skandabhiti, Founder Charya's Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtana ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Janitai Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Palakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabrutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, whose praise with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Utamashloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. The Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangom langayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. Continuing from Canto number 1, Chapter 5, entitled Narada's Instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam. And today we're reading text number I believe 35, huh? 35? Yes. Yes. Okay. We're all on the same page. Yad Atra Kriyate Karma Bhagavat Paritoshanam Jnanam Yat Tad Adhinam Hi Bhakti Yoga Samanvitam. Yadatra kriyate karma Bhagavat paritoshanam. Jnanam yat tad adhinam hi. Bhak hi. Bhakti yoga samanvitam. Yadatra kriyate karma. Bhagavat paritoshanam. Jnanam yat tat adhinam hi. Bhakti yoga samanvitam. Yadatra kriyate karma. Bhagavat paritoshanam. Jnanam yat tad adhinam hi. Jnanam yat tad adhinam hi. Jnanam yat tad adhinam hi. Bhakti yoga samanvitam. Yadatra kriyate karma. Bhagavat paritoshanam. Jnanam yat tad adhinam hi. Jnanam yat tad adhinam hi. Bhakti yoga samanvitam.
Yadatra kriyate karma.
Yadatra kriyate karma.
Bhagavat paritoshanam.
Bhagavat paritoshanam.
Jnanam yattadidinam hi.
Jnanam yattad adhinam hi.
Bhakti yoga samanvitam.
Bhakti yoga samanvitam.
Yadatra kriyate karma.
Yadatra kriyate karma.
Bhagavat paritoshanam.
Bhagavat paritoshanam.
Jnanam yattad adhinam hi.
Jnanam yattad adhinam hi.
Bhakti yoga samanvitam.
Bhakti yoga samanvitam.
Yadatra kriyate karma.
Yadatra kriyate karma.
Bhagavat paritoshanam.
Bhagavat paritoshanam.
Jnanam yattad adhinam hi.
Jnanam yattad adhinam hi.
Bhakti yoga samanvitam.
Bhakti yoga samanvitam. Yat. Whatever. Atra. In this life or world. Kriyate. Does perform. Karma. Work. Bhagavat. Unto the personality of Godhead. Paritoshanam. Satisfaction of Jnanam. Knowledge. Yat tat. What is so called Adhinam. Dependent. He. Certainly. Bhakti yoga. Devotional. Samanvitam. Dovetailed with Bhakti yoga. Yes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. Kindly repeat after me. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. Purport. The general and popular notion is that by discharging fruitive work in terms of the direction of the scriptures, one becomes perfectly able to acquire transcendental knowledge for spiritual realization. Bhakti yoga is considered by some to be another form of karma. But factually, bhakti yoga is above both karma and jnana. Bhakti yoga is independent of jnana or karma. On the other hand, jnana and karma are dependent on bhakti yoga. This kriya yoga or karma yoga is, as recommended by Sri Narada to Vyasa, is specifically recommended because the principle is to satisfy the Lord. The Lord does not want his sons, the living beings, to suffer the threefold miseries of life. He desires that all of them come to him and live with him. But going back to Godhead means that one must purify himself from material infections. When work is performed, therefore, to satisfy the Lord, the performer becomes gradually purified from the material affection. This purification means attainment of spiritual knowledge. Therefore, knowledge is dependent on karma or work done on behalf of the Lord. Other knowledge being devoid of bhakti yoga or satisfaction of the Lord cannot lead one back to the kingdom of God, which means that it cannot even offer salvation, as already explained in connection with the stanza Naiskarmyam apyucha apyut, ap, apyachuta bhava varjitam. Naiskarmyam apyachuta bhava varjitam. The conclusion is that a devotee engaged in the unalloyed service of the Lord, specifically in hearing and chanting of his transcendental glories, becomes simultaneously spiritually enlightened by the divine grace as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Translation again. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. Excuse me. Asmana. So the very text itself is referring to the mission of the Lord. All activities are meant to be performed for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord. Otherwise, all activities are binding us in the material world. And important point mentioned here is that when one is fortunate to know about this process of bhakti yoga, then automatically knowledge will come. One does not have to endeavor separately to acquire knowledge. Very famous verse in the Bhagavatam, Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Causeless. We don't have to even endeavor separately to acquire knowledge. Knowledge of a spiritual nature, right? There is paravidya and aparavidya. We were discussing the other day. Both paravidya and aparavidya are contained in the Vedic literatures, Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge means containing both spiritual, transcendental knowledge, especially about the soul, the Atma, about the super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and about the spiritual world, and the process of bhakti yoga by which we can reach that transcendental abode. And the Vedas also give us knowledge of this material world, the material energy, how it is functioning. Both are actually very mysterious, and both both remain, we could say, covered or hidden. When something is covered or hidden, it's like if we cover our eyes, we cannot see. It becomes dark. When we are covered in terms of consciousness or covered in terms of knowledge, then we are in ignorance, tamagun. So to actually elevate ourselves from all the gunas, but even the mode of goodness in the material world, the mode of goodness is having some connection with the mode of passion and ignorance, and sometimes can be overtaken, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Mode of passion or the mode of ignorance can overcome the mode of goodness as well. So in other words, the only secure position for the living entity is to become situated in the mode of pure goodness, which is the level of bhakti yoga. So only that level can actually bring full happiness and satisfaction. Susukam kartamavyayam, this process of bhakti devotional service, because it is natural to a living entity when taken up nicely, properly, under the guidance of our acharyas in the association of devotees, then that brings full happiness and satisfaction. And it is only this type of yoga, this bhakti yoga. Krishna speaks about so many different types of yoga. So in the purport, Prabhupada mentions how bhakti is above karma and jnana. Bhakti does not depend on karma and jnana. Rather, jnana comes, knowledge, as explained in that verse we quoted a few minutes ago. Knowledge will develop, Krishna will actually reveal that knowledge. It's explained how at different times in the history, different kinds of knowledge gets lost. Both spiritual knowledge gets lost as Krishna explains in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, I'm speaking to you this knowledge now, Arjuna, because that knowledge has been broken. And also material knowledge. We hear about sages receiving somehow material knowledge about, maybe it's Ayurveda or different types of material sciences that are actually necessary for the living entity in the material world to deal properly, to cope with the material energy. So, so therefore, what is nicely explained here is that, yeah, all of our activities, whatever it is that we are doing, we need to learn how to do it for the pleasure and satisfaction of Krishna. That means we should know what are the actual prescribed duties for humanity. And most people don't know, because they don't know. Nate vidu swartagatim hi Vishnu. They don't know that the ultimate aim in this human form of life is to satisfy Vishnu, to know Vishnu, to engage in service to Vishnu. So this is a big problem actually in the world today, and it's a big problem for our devotees also. It's a big problem for our devotees because majority of our devotees are not actually engaged in their prescribed duties. Therefore cannot really be fully satisfied. Therefore it's important to know what are the actual prescribed duties of mankind. What are the working principles upon which we should be engaged, isn't it? Just like 3 days ago, small example, we got some seeds. I got some seeds for what's the name of that tree? One special tree. And so we put it in the pot. But unless we give water every day, it's just going to be in the pot. Nothing's going to happen. So city folks or modern people in general are generally disconnected with Krishna's nature, and in the Vedic culture, the Vedic lifestyle, the Vedic way of living is actually helping us to be more connected and more involved with Krishna's nature. We learn to appreciate Krishna more and more through his nature. Modern people, they're also interested in Krishna's nature, but for the purpose of exploiting that nature. How much I can derive, what can I get from material nature? But a devotee should be eager to properly utilize and to see and demonstrate Krishna's in many ways Krishna's glories through his nature. So this so the translation again is whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. What is the meaning of concomitant?
Yeah, I checked. That's why I didn't know. It's like natural connection and follows.
Natural result, huh?
Yeah, not result. Connect.
Natural connection,
Connection, like
concomitant factor. Yeah, it's not a word used so often. Concomitant. You know this word? You're from
Say it.
America.
natural accompanying or associated.
Okay.
Like she loved travel with all its concomitant worries. A phenomenon that naturally accompanies or follows something.
Okay. So, in other words, Bhakti Yoga, what will naturally follow is
Committed and concomitant.
committed.
Committed means is very strongly there, and con means with someone, with something. Right?
Oh, okay. Kum means with.
With something.
Yeah. Concomitant factor. Yeah.
Attendant is similar.
Hmm?
Attendant.
Attendant.
Attendant. Means something which attend with something else. Expectant, some attendant, these are similar.
Yeah. So that means that by taking up or by performing unalloyed devotional service, the natural, well, that's directly connected with the verse Vasudevi Bhagavati, isn't it? Vasudevi Bhagavati, that's, I can read that verse actually. Should be here. Vasudevi Bhagavati mentions how, what is it? Causeless knowledge.
Yeah, that's causes means the action itself, if satisfying the Lord, it gives knowledge.
Yes. Yes. Mm, okay, we're very close here. Wow. There are 3 verses that begin with Vasudevi Bhagavati. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Oh, I see. Okay. Page 79. Okay. That is. Yes, this is the one. Canto number 1, chapter 2, text 7. Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Sayadahaitukam. And that is translated as follows: by rendering a devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. That's a huge benefit. I mean, yeah. Mm. And of course, there's a whole purport for that we will not read, but yeah. So that's why Bhakti Yoga is so unique and special. But to perform that level of Bhakti Yoga means one needs to have purified consciousness. I mean, yeah, unalloyed means without any tinge of material motivation, without any connection with the gunas. So, any Prashna? Huh?
There are interesting parts in this verse which can connect to our ISKCON movement also.
There is what you say?
There are interesting part of this verse which can connect to our understanding of what does it mean pure devotional service.
Yes.
So I think, for example, this which Prabhupada also start that discharging fruitive works in terms of the direct direction of the scriptures, one becomes perfectly required constant knowledge for spiritual realization. But Prabhupada is mentioned that the general and popular notion is, so it's not scientific. That means someone who is thinking that the next life I will perform much more devotional service. So first I have to make good karma, I have to endeavor for, I have to make yogyas, so many things. And then after so many endeavor, next life I will become a good devotee. So Prabhupada said, no, be devotee, no. Whatever you can do it, no.
Right.
And that's satisfying the Lord the best. I will prepare, I will go to the university. When I learn I'm a Sanskrit scholar, then I go and do devotional services. Not. Prabhupada didn't want to do that. Just not wasting time, but
Did you hear that? He said.
you hear that?
He's mentioning how very often we have we make our plan that I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do that. Then after I'll fully surrender. First I'll get my education, then I'll work for some time, and then after, yeah. Many times, yes. That is the general tendency. I think this is Gyana Samudra Prabhu. Should be there. Right? Oh no, somebody else. Maybe.
So I think there is two words inside the verse which is making sure that we are not deviating. This atra means here and now.
Here and now.
And that is the he, which we didn't read at the beginning.
He?
He means yes, certainly.
Oh, he.
Means some persons have other opinion, but make sure you don't believe them. Certainly that is the truth.
Yes, yes.
Because in the Vedas, you know, many persons will tell you different things. Yes,
Yes.
bhakti is good, but also important that and that and that. Yeah.
think the Mr. Tractor is putting
Yeah.
putting an end to our class.
Why
Well,
they are using tractors? They have animals.
it is quicker. Anyway, we're going to get all kinds of dust here also.
And also he is just destroying the soil. He's just pushing the soil without any chance to have some nice subtle structure.
It is, yes, they cannot understand.
And then he will not have enough water in the surface, which he absolutely needs.
That's right.
And there is no circulation, no air coming in. So he's destroying his own field.
Yes.
And then he suffers after a few years. Because the tractor is going fast.
They are
It's
attached.
so free.
Yeah, yeah. Modern.
You know, yesterday we have a nice reading with my friend.
Uh-huh.
And he is a father, family member.
Okay.
It was Sunday. No, it was Monday.
Yeah.
So his family was together. So in morning time we started to read according to his time about 11 o'clock. And then we were reading and after 2 hours his wife came in. Why are you calling so long with you? Why are you discussing so long with your friends? Why you don't join to the family? We have lunchtime. We are waiting for you. Oh, lunchtime. Oh, sorry. Because we was reading a nice book. There was so much enjoyment. So he just forgot lunch.
Right,
He forgot the family, everything. So there was 2 chances. The family joins to him to read together. It was not the case. Family waited for him. Then you come out from this bhakti yoga and do your family duties.
Right.
So it is a question which is the best, which is the better. How can you have a better family? To read together or just be present in family affairs and speak so many things, you know.
Yeah.
Happened yesterday, like the social issues.
And that's why it is important for family members to do things together.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an English proverb or saying that a family that prays together stays together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah. We read together, chant together, eat together, and that's family is strong.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Any other? Okay.
Say something. Everything is good, what you say.
Okay, we will close for now. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Sridham.